Welcome back to Torah in 10. I'm Jody Burkell, and I'm so excited to be here with you again. What's the life-changing idea Rabbi Sacks of blessed memory teaches us this week? Clear rules and proper discipline help to establish, maintain, and expand order for more fulfilled children, families, and society. Love is not enough. Relationships need rules. When I went on my first Momentum trip in 2011 as a participant, Rebitz and Lori Palatnik shared with us these three personality types called Chaim, Bracha, and Tove. It was fascinating. And upon returning home, my husband and I spent hours laughing as we categorized each member of our immediate and extended family. The Tove personality type describes an individual who lives by rules. You know, there are some people who say rules. I don't need no rules. Well, the Tove personality is animated by the idea of right and wrong. For the Tove, they want to know the rules so that they can do the right thing. Got it? For better or for worse, I'm a Tove. For me, I want to do the right thing. So when I started learning Torah and I understood that God created the world and indeed gave us an instruction manual for living with the do's and don'ts according to God, not me, I got very excited. The opening of this parsha contains two of the most powerful of all of the commands: to love your neighbor and to love the stranger. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am God goes the first. And then when a stranger comes to live in your land, don't mistreat him. Treat the stranger the way you would treat someone who lives there. Love him as yourself because you were a stranger in a strange land too. The first commandment is commonly referred to as the golden rule. Do unto others as what you would want done to you. Rabbi Sacks says that although the word love is used in each of these commands, they're not about love, but rather about justice. How so? And why do we find them in Parshas Kedoshim? This parsha is filled with commandments, some having to do with ethical life, like don't gossip, don't hate, don't take revenge, or don't hold a grudge. And some are about social justice, leaving part of your field for the poor, don't corrupt justice, and don't withhold wages from workers. And others have a completely different feel. Don't crossbreed livestock, don't plant a field with mixed seeds, and don't wear a garment that is made of wool and linen combined. So it may seem as if these laws have nothing to do with one another, but the Torah is telling us otherwise. They do have something in common. They're all about order, limits, and boundaries. Rabbi Sacks says they're teaching us that the fabric of society is made up of and held up by a foundation of laws that must be honored by us. If we hate or take revenge, we destroy our relationships. If we commit injustice, we weaken the trust that upholds our society. And if we don't respect nature, we're degrading the environment that we're called on to protect. And this is what the Torah calls holy, an ordered universe, part moral, part political, and part ecological. Without order, upheld by us, there's chaos. And that's where the commandment to love the stranger and love the neighbor falls. Where there is order, boundaries, limits, there's love. As parents, we struggle with this. Rabbi Sacks says that parents today are paralyzed by fear of giving rules that would cause their children not to like them or even to love them if they discipline them in any way. Parents are afraid of saying no for fear that it will damage the relationship. By saying no, they fear that they'll lose the love of their children. The result, says Rabbi Sacks, is that parents leave their children dangerously unprepared for a world that will not indulge their every wish or their desire for attention because we live in a world that can be at times tough, demanding, and sometimes cruel. Without rules, social skills, self-restraint, and a capacity to defer gratification, one of the reasons that the observance of kashrut is so powerful is that it makes the idea of waiting an institution. Jordan Peterson, the Canadian psychologist, writes in his book, 12 Rules for Life, that clear rules make for secure children and calm and rational parents. Clear principles of discipline and punishment balance mercy and justice so that social development and psychological maturity can be optimally promoted. Clear rules and proper discipline help the children and family and society establish, maintain, and expand order. That is all that protects us from chaos. And this is what the opening of Parshas Kedoshim is about. Clear rules that create and sustain a world that we all want to live in. That is where real love belongs. Without order, love can merely add to the chaos. Writes Rabbi Sacks, misplaced love can lead to parental neglect, producing at its extreme spoiled children with a sense of entitlement who are destined to an unhappy, unsuccessful, and unfulfilled life. When we speak about love, the foundation rests on laws, boundaries, and order. Rabbi Sacks teaches us love alone is not enough. Relationships need rules. The Tove in me thrives with this knowledge and understanding. And that is a life-changing idea we can all use. Thank you so much.